Welcome to Urban Pathways 612 Charter School 2020 Senior Commencement Ceremony. Is this a typical graduation? I'm gonna say not really. Are we able to hug each other with happiness and say congratulations? To an extent, I think it depends on who you are, how comfortable you feel. But again, depending on the person and how comfortable you feel, it's not like a traditional pomp and circumstance. We are wearing masks, we're worrying about social distancing, and sitting 6 feet apart. This has been a challenging year for many of us, and I will probably say that throughout my speech. But I feel grateful and honored to be standing here today, because I never thought we would be doing this today, with the graduating class of 2020. I'd like to start by recognizing our board members, Carol Galbraith, Stephanie Harper, Denny Irvine, Emmett Pandy, and Wanda Franklin. I'd like to share with you that we have an amazing Board of Trustees at Urban Pathways, and throughout this challenging school year, they have provided continued support to help the administration improve educational opportunity for all students. I'm grateful and proud to work for a wonderful group of professionals who love our school and students. Thank you, and let's give the Board of Directors a round of applause. I'd like to recognize the staff at Urban Pathways, and I am honored to be working with such an amazing group of people. I can stand here and go on and be here forever and tell you about how wonderful they are, how they bring me joy every day. I look at our staff as a team, as a work family, people who work together to provide the best for our students. I've enjoyed problem solving with our team and discussing new innovative ideas that help make the daily operations of the school a success. Thank you, and let's give the staff, Urban Pathways work family, a well-deserved round of applause. Parents and guardians, where do I start? We just love your children, and we appreciate you sending them to Urban Pathways Charter School. I will say it again, this has been a challenging year, and I know it was sometimes frustrating not hearing from us as often as you would have liked, or us changing plans at the last minute, that's a problem. But we felt the same way about the Department of Education and the governor throughout this pandemic. I want to thank you for your patience throughout this time and appreciate that you let us spend some of the best days in the school with your children. When the board members hand your child their diploma, all the goals we have helped set with your students, they have met. They are ready for the journey of making a difference in this world. Please give the parents and guardians a round of applause. Class of 2020, your class will go down in history at Urban Pathways Charter School, and your names will continue to be mentioned as the class that was the first for many things. You were the first class to celebrate Black History Month at the August Wilson Center and share with the school and community members your many talents. Thank you, Mrs. Ferguson. The first class to have the BSU members wear a kente cloth graduation school. The first to have the BSU assist Mr. Blondin in his African American class about some difficult topics and having some tough conversations. The first to have a drama class and work with Mrs. Kelly and Mr. Parks and being a part of Urban Pathways' first play, Check Please. As juniors, the first to participate in the Gilder Lehrman Foundation Hamilton Education Program, and to get to be the first to attend the Hamilton Matinee in Pittsburgh. Thank you, Mrs. McMahon. The first to have a senior bingo. That was fun. The first to have National Black Poetry Day. The first for many new experiences with Mrs. Beck in the Career Department, visiting Empower Beauty School, South Hills Beauty Academy, the first to start internships and job shadowing at Allegheny General Hospital, where our students have been offered jobs through their internships. An internship at Hug Me Tight Child Life Center. The first class where the member should be given a formal job offer at Urban Pathways K-5 when she graduates from college. First, one-day job shadowing experiences at Urban Design Associates, WPXI TV Media Day, Allegheny General Hospital tours, 93.7 The Fan. The first to have students from the BSU participate in a Kwanzaa presentation for the Board of Trustees. First to survive the cell phone policy. Tough one. First class. The first to experience the coronavirus and spend the last several months of school at home and receiving her education on Zoom. The first to live in the red, yellow, and now green phase. And they're first to have senior tributes on Facebook. Thank you, Mrs. Homage. The first to have Adopt a Senior and the staff delivering yard signs and packages from the community members. Thank you, Mr. Blondin. And the first class to work with Mrs. Kelly and present your senior presentations from home on Zoom. The first to have a virtual graduation on the 3rd floor of your school. Thank you, Mrs. Mack, Ms. Lane, and all the board members and teachers who volunteered their time. You were the first graduating class in history wearing a mask and practicing social distancing, sitting 6 feet apart from each other, following CDC guidelines. So when I talk about the class of 2020, many administrators and staff say the same thing. You're a class of leaders and will be missed. As the first, will be remembered when we'll never forget in the history of Urban Pathways, the class of 2020. You will never be forgotten. We do not like to pick favorites, however, the class of 2020 is the favorite of many staff members, I'll tell you. So class of 2020, make a difference in this world. I'm going to share a quote from a great man. Anytime you have an opportunity to make a difference in this world, and you don't, you're wasting your time on this earth. Roberto Clemente. The great one was even greater off the field. He set the bar high for all of us. Roberto died in a plane crash while en route to deliver aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. It wasn't his problem, but he saw an opportunity to make a difference in the world and made it his. Another great man, a Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl, stated, "You have power over your own thoughts and actions. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." For Viktor Frankl, meaning came from 3 possible sources: purposeful work, love, and courage to face times of difficulty. He believed that that's where powerful people find their strength. Powerful people do not fear change. They do not hide behind a keyboard. Powerful people build communities. Powerful people stand for something, and they are in front, leading with love and compassion. Class of 2020, find your power. Treat everyone with the same level of respect. Give everything to everyone all of the time, and it will return to you in ways that you can't imagine. Powerful people make a difference. Class of 2020, you are known for being a class of leaders. Be powerful and make that difference in the world. It's only June 11th of 2020, and the world has changed in so many ways. Virtual learning, renewed conflict and violence, climate change, and the global health crisis. We will never forget the names of Antoine Rose, Michael Brown, Maud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, with the last words, "I cannot breathe." And there are countless others that we must never forget. And this is not acceptable in the year of 2020 in the United States of America. We should feel angry and at the same time heartbroken. As an American, regardless of my color, I want to be and need to be a part of the solution to create a more inclusive and just world. And I intend on being powerful and standing up to make a difference. Please join me, class of 2020, and let's be powerful. You can do it as leaders. And never forget, knowledge is power. So now I want to introduce you to our guest speaker. I looked him up on LinkedIn, and I wanted to share with you his many talents and active community involvement, but I would be up here for another 20 minutes. I'm telling you. So, I'm going to look at this in a different way and tell you a shorter version about our speaker. He's the husband of Janine Ferguson, And I often tell her how I just love seeing her in the morning. So every morning, Mrs. Ferguson and I somehow pull up to the parking lot together. So her and her husband are sitting in their car, I get out of my car, Mr. Ferguson gets out, Mrs. Ferguson gets out, he watches her walk up the alley into the school. And so when we get to our offices, and Mrs. Ferguson's right across the hall from me, I'm like, you got the best husband, wow. Like he watches you walk into the building, like that's awesome. And that is just awesome, you make me smile every darn day. And so, and then she gets a big smile on her face too. So I've been working with Mrs. Ferguson for almost 17 years, so I think I know a little bit about her husband. So I'm going to give you my own version as I introduce him to you. I am confident in saying that he is a man of character, integrity. He is intelligent, a powerful leader who does not hide behind a keyboard and leads with purposeful work, love, and courage. A great husband and father, an active member of the community. I now am proud to introduce you to Dr. Ferguson.
Ms. Garland, I want to thank you for the introduction and also for sharing my background with the audience. Many of the people who I'm looking in the crowd that I do not know. It's interesting that you talked about how I watch my wife when she gets out of the car. I think it's important for a husband and also men to love and protect the women in their lives. So the reason why I watch her when she gets out the car is to make sure that she makes it from the car to the building as safely as possible. And then if not, it's my opportunity to jump in and defend and protect her. So it was a very interesting observation that you made, and I thank you for sharing that with the audience. We will be celebrating our 23rd year wedding anniversary this July. We've been together for 27 years. She's my wife and my best friend and my soulmate. So I'm honored that you gave me the opportunity to speak to the class of 2020, and it's an honor to have my wife working for the school. There's a lot of things that I've learned that she's told me about great things that students have done over the years. So again, it's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here to speak to you. What I would like to do now is let's have a moment of silence to honor the life of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and the many Black lives that suffered and were lost due to racial injustice. Let's take a moment of silence. Again, my name is Dr. Ferguson, and I'm honored to be given the opportunity to present this message to you, especially in this presence, instead of through Zoom. You know, we thought we were going to have to do this through Zoom, so it's a blessing that we were able to be here and face-to-face, because I think by now, after all those Zoom meetings, we're all Zoomed out. You know, it was a little too much over the past few months. Your class is very unique. Just in the past few months, there are things that you've experienced and have been confronted with that many people over the years have not been confronted with. A global pandemic, also economic and unemployment rates increasing. There's also been national protests against racial injustice. If we look at some of the things going on around the world, people are protesting against the attack that has been waged against Black people for the past 500 plus years. These attacks are not just isolated and rare incidents that happen. These attacks are systematic and systemic. These attacks are carried out against us spiritually, psychologically, academically, economically, politically. At any time, any one of us can become a hashtag or a picture on a t-shirt. Therefore, it's important for us to understand what our role is in changing this dynamic. Protesting is a good thing, but when the protest ends, we need our scholars to be active. We need our scholars to be active because protests may last weeks, days, months, possibly even years. But change agents and freedom fighters work to produce justice 24/7, 365. Being a change agent and also being a freedom fighter is something that never ends. There's an old saying, a revolution is a process, not an event. I believe that being a freedom fighter is a lifestyle. A freedom fighter is always learning and seeking a better way of doing things so that they can improve self, family, community, and ultimately humanity. Now that you are graduates, your mission is to pursue opportunities that will allow you to build generational wealth, empower our community, end racism, and ultimately produce justice. There are many different roles that you can serve in doing these things. Some of you who are in this graduating class may strive to become politicians. Our communities need strong advocates. We need strong advocates so that they can draft laws, allocate resources to empower our community. Our people are also plagued with mental and health issues. We need social workers, we need nurses, we need doctors, we need psychologists. They can work to heal the members of our community. Many people in our community are being pushed out due to development projects that are increasing the price so they're not able to afford their homes. There may be some people in this graduating class who may become developers and who will work to produce justice to make sure that the people who live in the community and want to stay in the community have the opportunity to do that. There's so many other opportunities outside of these that I just mentioned. We also need more people in our community who are skilled in building trades, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, masonry. There's a lot of development projects taking place in our community, but the thing is, we do not benefit from these development projects. We're not benefiting from employment opportunities. We're not benefiting from business opportunities. Some of the members of this graduating class may get the skills to allow them to become electricians, plumbers, carpenters, so they can start businesses and get jobs to be able to develop the community. We need good business owners in our community. We need business owners who are able to provide quality products and services to the members of our community. We need business owners who are also able to provide job opportunities, investment opportunities, and business opportunities to people who live in our community. The knowledge and skills that are required to do these things can be acquired from a local community college. There's a lot of things that you can gain from attending a community college, a two-year college, a junior college right here in Pittsburgh. There's a community college of Allegheny County. You can go to the community college of Allegheny County, take these classes that I mentioned, many more, and then transfer to a four-year institution if that's what you want to do. By going to a community or junior college, you can save anywhere between $40,000 to $80,000 of debt. If you save that money, what you can then do is purchase a home. You can make investments. There's a lot. You can start a business with the money that you save. So I want to share that message with you so that we can think about how to be better stewards of our resources. We also need to focus on strengthening our families. This is something that's extremely important. Strong families make strong communities. If families are weak and broken, then communities will be weak and broken. We need mothers and fathers who will work together to raise their children righteously, make their families strong, and then ultimately make their communities even stronger. I know that now that you've graduated, you're probably thinking to yourself, the work is behind me now. Well, I actually have an assignment for you. And the assignment is a book list that I'm going to suggest. If you read these books, they've changed my life in many ways, and they've also touched many people. So this is why I'm going to share this book list with you. If you have free time over the summer, I strongly encourage you to read these books. The first one that I would suggest is The Miseducation of the Negro by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. This is a book that's extremely important. It'll allow us to look at the situation that we've been in and how we can change it. The second book that I recommend is The Destruction of Black Civilization by Dr. Chancellor Williams. Reading this book will allow us to understand how we got in the situation that we are in and how we can get out of this situation. The third book that I recommend is The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. If you read this book, The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, you'll understand the nature of the situation that we are in and how we can work our way out of this situation. Another book that I recommend is the United Independent Compensatory Code by Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. This book will empower you in so many ways so that you'll understand racism. You'll know your role in this situation and how no longer to be a victim, but how to overcome racism and dismantle racism and produce justice. The last book that I would suggest to you is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The reason why I suggest The Art of War by Sun Tzu is because of the situation that we are in. Warfare, as I mentioned before, there's many different levels of it. It's waged many different ways. So if you don't understand the war that you're in, you will not know how to defend yourself. I know that some of the graduates are probably thinking to themselves, how is it that he's going to get it in front of us and to give us this assignment to read 5 books? How is it that he's expecting us to go out and become politicians and make laws and make policies and allocate resources and become developers? And what is it that makes him think that we are capable of doing these things and doing them successfully? Well, I guess my answer would be, it's in your DNA. I see you all do great things. The students on this side and also the students on this side. I had the opportunity about 2 weeks before the global pandemic to attend the August Wilson Center. And I saw the students through poetry, singing, dance, speaking, talk about how we can empower our community. I saw different things that happened on the stage where some of the students were entrepreneurs and are entrepreneurs. And the students talked about circulating the black dollar, empowering our community. These are things that this class did 2 weeks before the global pandemic. And the performance in the presentation at the August Wilson Center, I will put that up against a Broadway presentation. You all, the expectations that we have upon you is nothing that you cannot achieve. I would expect you all to do the things that I've mentioned, and your parents expect you to do, and even much greater. It's in your DNA. You're strong enough to be able to do these things. I can also remember the Black Student Union attending Black Student Union events at colleges and universities, and I happened to be there. I can remember some of the students right in this class were maybe freshmen and sophomores. And I can remember the people that were at the college campus thought, you all back then were college students. They didn't find out until it was all over. I actually thought you were college students. Until my wife said, this is not a college student. This is one of the students at Urban Pathways. So you were doing great things back 3-4 years ago. You've learned so much more. All the challenges that you've been through for the past couple months, all the things that you've been through as young people, growing up in the communities that you're growing up in, and the things that we face as people during the past 2 or 3 months has shaped you and made you to do much greater things so that you can pave the way for the young people who are coming behind you. Pave the way, leave your legacy behind, so that when the next group of people come behind you, your children, your grandchildren, things will be much easier for them, and you will be part of making history, not being changed by history, but making history by producing justice. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity, Ms. Garland, also the staff of Urban Pathways, my wife, Mrs. Ferguson, family members that are here, family members that are not here. One thing that I want to say is energy does not die. Energy is not destroyed. The energy that I felt at the August Wilson Center, the energy that I felt when I'm at Urban Pathways students, among Urban Pathways students in this school, is energy that will continue to go on. Negative energy does not die, neither does positive energy. It's just transferred. That's one of the laws of physics. So I strongly encourage each and every one of you, not only the graduates, but also the family members and the people who are listening to this message, to not only just read the books that I suggested, read more, but figure out how you can become part of the solution rather than becoming a part of the problem. That energy is with you. That's why we are here right now. Take that energy, channel it into something positive. And this is why I say pave the way, make the legacy for the next generation that's coming behind you. Give yourselves a round of applause, not for me, but for yourself. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Ferguson. Welcome, everyone. I am Mrs. Ferguson, and I will be your MC for the ceremony. Can I ask everyone to please stand for the singing of the Black National Anthem. Ms. Clemente will lead us in song.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Please give her a round of applause.
You may be seated. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our board secretary, Ms. Stephanie Harper. Please give her a round of applause.
It's hard sitting there on that mask. Whew, I got your breath. Good evening, everyone. As Ms. Ferguson said, my name is Stephanie Harper, and I sit on the board here at Urban Pathways Charter. First, congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2020 of UPCS. You have put in the many hours of work, and your dedication is now paying off. Second, congratulations to the parents. The seeds you have sown in your children are sprouting fruit. That is awesome. I gotta catch my breath again. Wow. 2020 has been a trip without the luggage. That's a line my mom used to tell me when I was doing the most and doing way too much, and I think that's what 2020 has done to us. It is doing the most. And thinking of what to say to you, my brain honestly went blank, not out of a lack of things to say, just wondering if what I can say to you can top the events that we have all experienced as of late. We've gone from a global pandemic that has changed virtually the way we live our lives to a blanket of heaviness brought on by the senseless and continual systemic and institutional racism we continue to see as a nation. I firmly believe that Black lives matter, Black lives matter, Black lives matter. June is Pride Month, and I can't let this opportunity go without acknowledging that allies are also needed for the LGBTQ community as well. We must realize and understand that no one is free from discrimination until all members of marginalized and underrepresented communities are free. So my biggest piece of encouragement that I want to make sure that I give to you is to find your voice. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, but I must implore for you to use your voice and vote. Vote with the knowledge that your actions can make a difference. So now, here's the best words of advice that I can give to you as you embark on this next level of your lives. Number one is to take care of you. When I say take care of you, I mean the full you. The physical, the mental, spiritual, the emotional. I ended last year's speech with this point, but it remains so true and relevant given the events of today. Protect and invest in yourself. Protect your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. If this means cutting those toxic people out of your life, find you some scissors and cut. If it means going to talk to someone to work with the pressures that life is weighing on you, go find a therapist, go find someone to talk to you. Choose and invest in yourself. Number 2, I say this to anyone who will listen. Good credit matters. I share this with my family members. With strangers, I don't care. Good credit matters and it is achievable. Your credit score can literally mean the difference between a yes and a no. If you haven't started a habit of saving, start today. $1 today is worth more tomorrow. I understand the difficulties in trying to find extra money to save, but it doesn't matter what you can save. If you can save $1, start saving $1 because it's about building the habit of saving. Number 3 is to show up on time and do your best. If your job starts at 10 or your interview starts at 10 and you walk in at 10, you're late. And showing up after is just completely flat out not acceptable. Managers and teachers notice people who either do their best or do very little. Trust me, you want to be in the former and not the latter. Raise your hand for opportunities when they present themselves to you. Always be ready to learn and do more. Believe me, when you are doing your best, you will get noticed and rewarded quickly for it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is my 20th year with my company, and literally I can tell you the advances I've made in my career are simply by raising my hand and saying, sure, I'll do that. Number 4, this comes from my fiance, and he reminds me of this when different challenges present themselves to me and I start to spaz out. And it's that every gift doesn't come with a bow. In life, you will be presented with difficult circumstances, but that difficult circumstances could turn out to be the launching pad into your greatness. So don't give up. That difficult circumstance will show you just how strong you are. Just remember that you are not defined by that difficult time, but what builds your character is how you overcome those difficult times. Number 5, give back. All of us are here today because someone invested in us. Someone reached down and helped us along the way, so none of us got to where we are on our own. Get involved in a cause that really speaks to you. Number 6, understand that true friendship and real love is one of the greatest gifts you will ever receive in life. Number 7, go to bed each night with a peaceful mind. If there is something that is causing you to have hatred in your heart or unrest in your spirit, resolve it and then forgive. Number 8, the world owes you nothing. I'm not going to lie. Being an adult is hard, and myself personally, I've had to work hard for everything that I have. I grew up poor, and it was hard. I grew up, and I'm sorry, I just lost my place in my notes, so I apologize for that. But I grew up poor. I'm saying that again because it was poor. But who would have thought that that little black girl who grew up so poor would go on to earn 2 degrees and buy her own home before 30? Believe me when I tell you, you are able to achieve all of your hopes and your dreams and your aspirations and your goals. My sincere wish is that each of you attain all that your hearts desires. The world is literally waiting for you and the greatness that you bring. May all of your storms be weathered and all that's good only continue to get better. I pray that you all have continued blessings of joy and peace. God bless you, and congratulations again to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Ms. Harper. Next, we have Mrs. Humbage for the presentation of flowers.
Good evening, everybody. I get to give a short one this year, but a very important one. Every year we ask our seniors to give us the name of one person who really pushed them and supported them throughout their time in high school. This year the roses were given in advance, but we wanted to take a few minutes to recognize these loved ones and trusted mentors. Jalen Achilles gave her flower to Christy Achilles. Jamie Adams gave her flower to Lanisha Coker. Darnell Anderson gave his flower to Tiffany Calloway. Geneva Ba gave her flower to Muhammad Ba. Justice Boyd gave his flower to Alicia Frederick. Javon Broughton gave his flower to Serena Broughton. Hunter Davison Harper gave his flower to Tawanda Harper. Stone Davison Harper gave his flower to Shanita Williams. Vinay Dent gave his flower to Jessie Dent. Markeisha Ferguson gave her flower to Markia Ferguson. Jada Griffin gave her flower to Lisa Griffin. Tavius Hill gave his flower to Wanda Franklin. Ladrell James gave his flower to Stephanie James. Aaliyah Jemison gave her flower to Lisa Jemison. DeJour Johnson gave his flower to Tawanda Johnson. Jamaica Johnson gave her flower to India Johnson. Kataya Jones gave her flower to Sharon Henderson. Isis Jones gave her flower to Deja Sarah Harshaw Jones. Veronique Layla gave her flower to Jean-Pierre Musambwa. Quentin Lowry gave his flower to Mrs. Rochelle Kelly. Daquan Lucas gave his flower to Dr. Edward Mandel. Rayla McMiller gave her flower to Dorinda Daniels. Kelvon Miller gave his flower to Thomasina Helms. Ashanti Miles gave her flower to LaShawn Pete. Timothy Peterson gave his flower to Alex Washington. Tatiana Pierce gave her flower to Charmel Hamill. Danae Pollard gave her flower to Danielle Pollard. Christopher Ransom gave his flower to Angela Ransom. Lycia Scoggins gave her flower to Aisha Burks. O'Shea Stanford gave her flower to Daisha Tate. Ranjanae Stevens gave her flower to Tawana McPherson. Maya Swain gave her flower to Audrey Gilliard. Antoine Townsend gave his flower to Doretha Carter. Takira Townsend gave her flower to Tanisha Coleman. Tamaya Troutman gave her flower to Shirley Rucker. Mahogany Young gave her flower to Tumi Young. And Deborah Zavea gave her flower to Alice Muwaso. So let's take a moment and give a round of applause to everyone who received the flower. All of them here estimated. So I'm supposed to be sharing MC duties with Ms. Ferguson, so I'll take the next one. Next up, we get to have our student speakers. Our first speaker will be Justice Boyd, who's our valedictorian first in the class. Justice will be followed by Darnell Anderson, our salutatorian. Then Nycia Scoggins, the Black Student Union president. And finally, a student speech by Ashanti Miles, Black Student Union member.
Good afternoon, everybody. Attending high school at Urban Pathways may end up being the single most unique learning experience that any of us will go through. It's not like going to Penn Hills or Montour or Woody High, schools that you can drive past and actually know that you just went past the school from the big sports sign and field. We went to a relatively small 4-story building with very limited resources near the heart of downtown, and that is enough to make it a unique experience. But it's not a fruitless one. It's an experience that taught us something. It taught us to be resilient and to make it the most of what we have when we have very, very limited resources. It's a lesson that really we've been brought up with, being a minority community with very limited resources and having to make the most of what we have. Then on top of that, you have everything that's happened during our time here. And in 2020 alone, we've had the coronavirus in January is when it started. We've had the story of Trump's impeachment in January. Then in April, we had the shutdown of the school and the nation. And then, and we also have the murder of yet another black man in Georgetown. And then before 2020, we were literally right next to the Antoine Rose protest in response to the ruling of the man that murdered him. And we've witnessed the effects of the election of one of the most controversial presidents in history. But in spite of all that, we turned out just fine, even if the experience wasn't typical. I mean, we had the staff that did their best and stuck with us and believed in us through all the times, both good and bad. I mean, it'd be hard to forget about how Mr. Blondin performed his original song in response to the numerous murders of black men and women by authorities. It'd be hard to forget about Mr. Bonner, who was a wake-up call for both teachers and students alike and kept us on the right track to being our best selves. We had Mr. Sam, who would clean up after us for years, ever since the 6th grade when I've been here, and he would always do it with a smile, even without the recognition from any students. We had the security crew, we had Mr. Blake and the boys, and Mr. Blake and the boys protecting us from the moment we stepped into the building, to the moment that we got on our bus, really. But I could go on for days appreciating the staff and everything that they did for us, but the truth is they weren't the only ones that supported us, because we supported each other throughout everything. And yeah, we've had the convenient homework comparisons before class, and that's just something every high school does, but that's not it. We've had the karaoke sessions on the bus, on field trips and stuff, but once again, that's not it. And I don't mean to get repetitive, but we are a class of first. I mean, Ms. Carmen was right. We have been the first to do the student play. We've been the first to go to Hamilton. We've been the first to do the Black Student Union. In that, we failed and succeeded in front of each other, and that's something that we've been doing since the 6th grade. But the thing about that is, no matter how many times we failed and succeeded in front of each other, we've never, ever beaten up one another over it. We've always built off of it. And that's really not something that everybody can say. That's honestly not something that many people can say, but I'm looking at a class of about 40 people, 40 young adults, that can honestly say that they've done nothing but build each other up. And that's a true achievement right there. It's not something that you can see on a piece of paper, but it's something that you can have pride over. Specifically, I remember very vividly this time in 11th grade. It was about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was at the hospital and just watched my great-grandfather pass. I was pretty broken up over it that school day. I made it through about half the day with being fine, but then had a breakdown midday. I had to sit in Mr. Claggett's office for about a block and then went back to no more activities, and I thought that would be it, but it wasn't. Later that day, I received a card from Mr. Claggett that I didn't open immediately on the spot. I didn't want to just open a card in the middle of the day, so I waited until I got home. And I opened it, and there was a message about keeping your head up and how it would be okay going on the line. And almost every student in the grade had signed that card. And if that's not a sign of sticking together and picking one another up, I don't know what is. Together, we've improved as a whole, we're getting our diplomas, and we're moving into the next phase of our lives with a semi-concrete plan of what we're going to do post-high school. And that part is no different than anywhere else. But where we're different is the experiences and the shared bonds that we formed, and that makes us more strong and resilient. Moving forward, no matter what we're going to do, we'll use that strength to be the driving force in a world that needs to be pushed in the right direction. that, I say thank you to our teachers, families, and everyone who's helped us get to this point. We made it better than ever, and I'm proud to be a part of this powerful Urban Pathways class of 2020.
How y'all doing? Y'all good? That's good. Alright. So, there I was, an 8th grader coming into this school, not knowing what to expect. And here I am now at my high school graduation. When I was new to this school, the students and teachers took me in like I was one of them. And that was always what I wanted in the school, a family. My teachers helped me become the person I am today by showing me what true hard work is. Now, if you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. I've had many fun memories, such as the Kennywood trip, 10th grade year, the Science Center trip, 11th grade year, Hamilton trip, the many college visits I went on with my classmates, the field days, and even the funny moments in the classroom. These memories will always mean something to me for the rest of my life. Now it's time to move on as our class has future teachers, doctors, actors, mechanics, entrepreneurs, and athletes. We will all succeed in life. And on this next step of our journey, I hope everyone does big things in their future. Class of 2020, we out.
Okay. As president of the BSU, I was asked to do a speech for my senior class. At first, I didn't really know what I wanted to say, but then it came to me. So guys, is this for you? Together. Together. Together, everyone. Together. Together. Come on, let's have some fun. No, seriously. We did it. We're here. We finally made it. The moment that most of us have talked about since 6th grade, graduation day. Graduating together. Over the years, I've gotten the opportunity to watch some of you grow into the most amazing individuals standing before me. Some of you have grown drastically. Some of you have just become a better version of the person that you are. And I'm very appreciative to be a part of your senior class. You guys have been my one solid family since 6th grade, and I couldn't be more appreciative. I love you guys more than you can ever know. So to my senior class, I just want to say thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the answers to the questions. Thank you for everything that you guys have ever done for me. It's definitely been true, class of 2020, but honey baby, we're out.
Hello. My name is Shante Miles. First, I would like to say we made it. We did this for people who couldn't make it. We worked numerous hours to say we made it. We cried in the process, we fell a couple times, but we got up and kept running. The fact that we knew that some people didn't even believe in us made it even better, but we still made it. Everyone in the class of 2020 is motivation for me. may argue, but we have each other's backs. Couldn't no one mess with one person in 2020's class without everyone stepping out once. We spoke about this day so many times, yet I'm not ready to part ways. I know I may have seen with a sour face, and I may have some of the smartest remarks. Coming across like I don't care, but I really love you guys. And for me to stand up here and say we made it, that we were done, is the best feeling ever. I am beyond proud. Most of us woke up some days without pencils, some without lights, some without food. But knowing when you reach school, all of your worries would be gone and you would be surrounded by loving people makes the next day worth living. I didn't ask for the lemons life gave me, but when I was handed them, I knew from this day forward that I would drink some of the best lemonade. Sometimes it may be sour, other times it may be sweet, but this lemonade that I have been making all year, I want to share it with all you guys. Not only to drink, but to make more. This is that kick your feet up lemonade. We done lemonade. We ain't gotta wake up no mornings lemonade. Cheers to our new beginnings. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you all. Excellent speeches. Well, seniors, this is the moment you've been waiting for ever. The presentation of diplomas will be made by Ms. Carol Galbraith, the board president, and Denny Irvine, our board vice president. Now, seniors, when you hear your name, please come forward and to receive your diploma. Jamie Adams. Darnell Anderson. Geneva Ball. Justice Boyd. Javon Broughton. Hunter Davison Harper. Stone Davison Harper. Vinay Deshawn Dent Wright. Markeisha Ferguson. Jada Griffin. Jamaica Johnson. Kataya Jones. Isis Jones. Verondi Leela. Quentin Lowry. Daquan Lucas. Rayla McMiller. Kelvon Miller. Ashanti Miles. Timothy Peterson. Denaida Pollard. Christopher Ransom. Nasia Scoggins. O'Shea Stanford. Rajane Stevens. Maya Swain. Antoine Townsend. Deborah Sabayo. Now I am proud to introduce our Vice Principal, Mr. Frank, for the closing remarks and attorney of the Tassel.
This will happen to everyone at some point. Lastly, as we conclude this graduation ceremony, I would like to take a moment on behalf of the faculty and the staff of Urban Pathways to provide a final word to the class of 2020. It has truly been our honor and our privilege to assist each of you along your own path. Our sincere wish is that you go forth and do a multitude of wonderful things in the future. In academia, the moving of the tassel is an important symbol signifying the completion of a degree. So class of 2020, I ask that you all stand. Along with Ms. Garland, our CEO, our superintendent, our principal, we have one final instruction for the class of 2020. Urban Pathways class of 2020, we pronounce you all high school graduates. Move that tassel.
Are we good? Okay, good.